Welcome to Sindy's Bookshelf. Today's special story is titled Hans Christian Andersen, starring Kaye. This book, given to me by my father, is a remake from an old movie starring Kaye. It has a number of short stories written by Hans Christian Andersen. I will share today's story, The Ugly Duckling. In the shade of a tall elm tree, a mother duck hatched her eggs. One by one they popped open, and one by one pretty little ducklings stepped out. But when the last egg opened... Oh no, there must be some mistake. This ugly duckling couldn't be mine. The ugly little duckling was all stubby and yellow. His feathers looked as though they were glued on, and it wasn't a very good job at that. The mother duck didn't know what to do. Maybe he's a little turkey. Maybe he doesn't belong to me. He doesn't look like any other duckling. Well, there's only one way to find out. If he swims, he's a duckling, and I'm stuck with him. Splash. The ugly duckling swam as nice as could be. In fact, he swam better than his little brothers and sisters. Mama Duck was rueful, but convinced. Oh dear, I guess I'm stuck with that ugly duckling. And so the poor ugly duckling remained on the farm, but all the other animals made life unbearable for the unfortunate creature. They say this horrible-looking creature is a duckling. I don't believe it. Neither do I. Look how pretty his brothers and sisters are. What shall we do? We can't let this miserable ugly duckling play with our children. Something's got to be done. Well, I have already told my chicks to stay away from him. Mama, why do they make fun of me? I can't help it if I'm ugly. Be grateful that you are alive in this fine world, my son. Some day they'll all look up to you. Just wait and see. The ugly duckling, listening to his mama, wanted to believe her. But things didn't change around the barnyard. All the other animals still refused to have anything to do with him. Quack! Go away, you ugly duckling. You spoil my appetite. But I'm hungry. How am I to get anything to eat? That's your worry. Now please leave. The poor, lonely, ugly duckling decided it would be best if he left home. No one wants me. Maybe somewhere in this world I'll find a friend. The next morning, the ugly duckling reached a great swamp where a flock of wild ducks made their home. Maybe these ducks will play with me. Hello? Well, what kind of bird are you? I've never seen such an ugly creature. Go away, scat! I thought it would be different elsewhere, but I was wrong. Everyone's the same. No one wants me. Week after week, the little duckling roamed the countryside to find someone who would welcome him. But no one did. Then one chilly night he came upon a little cottage at the edge of the forest. Maybe I can find some shelter here for the night. This looks like a quiet little place. I'd be so happy if I could stay here forever. Oh, I'm so sleepy, so sleepy. The little duckling slept well that night, for he was extremely tired. When he awoke the next morning... Oh, hello. Hello, breakfast. Breakfast? Why do you call me breakfast? 'Cause that's what you're going to be as soon as the old lady wakes up. She'll put you into the pan so fast you'll hardly know what happened. Oh, let me out of here. The weeks passed. Soon, as autumn arrived, the leaves began to change colour, but the little duckling was still without a home. Oh my, look at those swans. Aren't they the most beautiful birds in the world? How I wish I were as beautiful as they. The beautiful swans glided across the mirror-like lake and then gracefully floated up into the sky to start their southward flight. The little duckling watched and watched. If I could only look like them, I'd be the happiest little duck in the world. Soon the first days of winter arrived. All the birds had flown south except the ugly duckling. No one had told him about it. He was all alone, cold and hungry. Brr! I'm so cold, what am I going to do? It grew colder and colder. The snow came on with a great rush. The ugly duckling tried to leave the lake to find some other shelter, but now he couldn't move. He was frozen fast to the ice. But at that moment, a man happened to pass the lake and... Oh, that poor little bird is trapped in the ice. I've got to free him. The man kicked a hole in the ice and soon the ugly duckling was free. There. Don't be frightened. You're safe now. Look, children, I've brought you a pet.
Isn't he cute? I want to hold him.
No, let me hold him. He's mine, I want to hold him.
Let me hold him first.
Don't be so rough, you'll hurt him. Now look what you've done. You've frightened him away. When will I ever find happiness? All that winter, the poor little ugly duckling wandered through the frozen forests, trying as best as he could to keep warm and to find some food. Finally, the cold wintry blasts disappeared and spring arrived. The duckling was now fully grown. Soon he found himself on a lake in a beautiful park. There he saw 3 white swans. Oh, aren't those swans beautiful? Why, they're swimming towards me. They probably want to make fun of me because I'm so ugly. I won't run away this time. I'll stay here and wait for them. The ugly duckling wanted to swim away, but no, he was going to stay and take it. Just then, he happened to look down into the water and... Look! That reflection! It's me! I'm a swan! I'm a beautiful swan! See him, Marie? He's the most beautiful swan in the park. Now everybody loves me. I never dreamed that I could be so happy. And so, the poor unfortunate ugly duckling grew up to be the most beautiful swan in the world. That's the end of the story. Thank you for listening to Hans Christian Andersen's The Ugly Duckling. If you'd like to hear more stories from my bookshelf, visit Sindy's Bookshelf on YouTube, hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on new stories. Sindy's Bookshelf can also be found on Facebook and TikTok. Links are in the description.